New Yorkers at a time when they can least afford it. Evictions have been growing with over 100,000 eviction cases in our courts. All of this adds to the record homelessness in New York City. While state action is needed to spur needed housing production, there are also important efforts that the city must take on its own to address these challenges and keep New Yorkers in their homes. That's why the council passed legislation to not only remove barriers to the City FEP's housing voucher program for New Yorkers in our shelter system, but also ensure it can be a lifeline to families facing eviction and on the brink of homelessness. We advanced these bills in response to months of inaction from the administration as the city's shelter population grew to record levels. When we consider the lack of housing investments in the mayor's proposed budget, coupled with last night's rent increases for rent-stabilized units and existing housing pressures, further inaction will only result in more New Yorkers being evicted from their homes, displaced from their communities, and forced into the city's already stretched shelter system. There have been too few efforts by the administration to intervene in the eviction crisis and prevent New Yorkers from losing their homes. The administration should join the council in supporting more active efforts and budget investments to locally address our housing crisis. This includes increased funding for legal representation for tenants in eviction cases, affordable and supportive housing, including NYCHA, and ensuring the city's housing agencies are supported to advance approved affordable housing developments. It should also cease opposing the council's City FEP's legislation and sign the bills into law. As we continue to negotiate the city's fiscal year 2020 budget, we remain committed to restoring critical investments in essential services that our families, communities, and city rely on to succeed, but were left out of the mayor's proposed budget. While we understand the future budget challenges ahead, our city cannot undermine itself and worsen them by failing to invest in housing, education, libraries, mental health, and economic opportunity. The next several days will be critical for New York City and the communities we represent. We cannot pursue a path that destabilizes working families. We must choose the responsible, smart approach that makes necessary investments and protects against future risks. For the health, safety, and well-being of our city, the choice is clear. Now let's move on to our stated agenda. First, we'll vote on the following finance items. Introduction 1051B, sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan, would authorize the expansion of the screen injury programs to qualify tenants in Battery Park City and select former Mitchell-Lama buildings. 4 preconsidered resolutions setting the interest rates for the non-payment of property taxes. 2 preconsidered resolutions to authorize Article 11 exemptions for 8 buildings in Councilmember Salamanca Jr.'s and Stevens districts. A preconsidered resolution to authorize Article 11 exemption for 1 building in Councilmember Farias' district. A preconsidered resolution to authorize an Article 11 exemption for 1 building in Councilmember Sanchez's district. A preconsidered resolution to authorize Article 11 exemption for 59 buildings in Councilmember Lewis's district. Lastly, we will vote on the following pieces of legislation. Resolution 80, sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan, calls on Congress to pass and the President to sign legislation to increase the supply and affordability of housing and to adjust how area median income is calculated. We will also vote on several resolutions from the Committee on Cultural Affairs. Resolution 199, sponsored by Councilmember Crystal Hudson, declares June as Caribbean Heritage Month in our city with the largest, most diverse Caribbean community outside of the Caribbean itself. Resolution 285A, sponsored by Councilmember Charles Barron, calls on the Congress and the President to end the embargo and travel ban on Cuba and remove Cuba from the state sponsors of terrorism list due to the harm it causes to the Cuban people. Resolution 623, sponsored by Cultural Affairs Committee Chair Chio Say, designates May 21st annually as Christopher Biggie Smalls Wallace Day in our city, recognizing his contributions to the cultural landscape of his home borough of Brooklyn, New York City, and the world. Resolution 624, also sponsored by Chair Osei, designates July 8th annually as Reggie Combat Jack Osei Day in our city, honoring his multifaceted contributions to hip-hop and culture as a lawyer, executive editor, pioneering podcaster, and of course, Councilmember Osei's dad. And Resolution 645, sponsored by Councilmember Kevin Riley, designates June as Fatherhood Recognition Month annually in our city, honoring the contributions of fathers and father figures to families and communities. Next are several bills from our Parks and Recreation Committee. Preconsidered legislation sponsored by Parks and Recreation Committee Chair Shekhar Krishnan would co-name 112 streets, thoroughfares, and public places based on the requests of communities and council members. Introduction 227A, sponsored by Councilmember Gail Brewer, would make the biographical information of any person or entity for whom a street, park, playground, or city-owned facility is named publicly available on the city's website, and I now invite Councilmember Brewer to come forward and speak about her legislation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And the reason I'm here is I have to say I was around for 9/11 as an example. And after 9/11, we went to a lot of funerals. And after the funerals, to the credit of the then mayor and administration, we put up a lot of co-naming signs on lamp streets. And I have to say an example, my predecessor, Helen Rosenthal, her brother was killed in 9/11, and I remember going to 72nd Street with her mother and her family and putting up a sign. To this day, I don't think, as an example, Josh Rosenthal, her brother, people don't know who he was. And of course, there are famous people, and then there are people who just are everyday New Yorkers who did a great deal in their community. Example, the list that we are passing today. So for years, I wanted to be sure that people know this, because I think that when you go by, you see a sign, you want to know who it is, and this is why we're passing this bill. I want to be very clear that the material, as I understand it, hopefully will be on the municipal library website. That's where I hope it ends up. This particular list will go back to 1990s, and hopefully we will go even further. I'm a real supporter of our history. I'm a real supporter of our archives, and I think this is one example where we can make sure that people know our history by the many, many individuals who are not well known but who contributed so greatly to our history. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. Thank you, Councilmember Brewer. And Introduction 7A, sponsored by Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala, would codify free youth memberships for the city's 36 recreation centers operated by the Department of Parks and Recreation into law. Currently, the city offers discounted memberships to seniors, people with disabilities, and veterans as well. Next, a bill from our Youth Services Committee, Introduction 54, sponsored by Councilmember Farrah Lewis, would require the Department of Youth and Community Development to include financial empowerment education in its youth employment and runaway homeless youth programs. She's here. I invite Councilmember Lewis to come forward and speak about this important bill.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Speaker Adams, for the opportunity to speak about Introduction 54 that we'll be voting on today. Introduction 54, local law to amend the administrative code of the City of New York in relation to financial literacy, education, and the Department of Youth and Community Development programs. I am not naive enough to believe Intro 54 will solve poverty and economic inequality. It is a local law that will give young people a chance to understand and comprehend the economic system. Trainings include instruction on personal finances, including banking, budgeting, credit, debit, savings, investments, and taxes. This bill is a step in the right direction to end intergenerational poverty, to build a more inclusive economy, providing real economic opportunities for all, but it requires collaboration and intentionality. Our city funds and curates programs that support our youth and children, usually focusing on athletics, wellness, career building, workplace, soft skills, summer youth employment. However, we are over overdue for a focus on the financial and fiscal toolkits youth need in order to become productive citizens. Just like athletics and arts, financial literacy is a measure of training that begins a life of understanding. My hope is to support the administration and youth-centered agencies as they construct courses and programs that will provide the skill building our youth need for economic stability and success. Thank you so much, Speaker Adams.
Thank you, Councilmember Lewis. From the Public Safety Committee, Introduction 1001A, sponsored by Councilmember Lynn Schulman, would permit enforcement agencies to fine commercial property owners who lease to unlicensed and unlawful sellers of marijuana or tobacco products. I invite Councilmember Schulman to the podium to speak about her legislation. If you need a box.
I need the little box. Thank you. Now everybody can see me, yay. Before I do this, I just want to thank Councilmember Brewer for her bill, which I'm a co-sponsor of. My late partner was a lieutenant in the Emergency Medical Services, has a street co-named for her, and now people will know her contribution, so thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. As many of you know, we've seen a proliferation of illegal weed shops throughout the city. These shops are unregulated. They're selling adulterated products, they're selling to minors, they're evading sales tax, and they are oversaturating the market for legal cannabis shops, many of whom were impacted by the prohibition of cannabis, making it nearly impossible for legal shops to flourish. That's why I'm extremely proud that the Council will be voting on Intro 1001B this afternoon, which will create a penalty structure to hold landlords accountable for knowingly leasing commercial premises to illegal businesses such as unlicensed weed shops and e-vaping shops. Landlords will receive a warning on the first offense, and if upon second inspection it's determined that the business is still operating in the commercial premise, the landlord will be issued a fine of $5,000 and $10,000 for each subsequent offense. Our hope is that this legislation will incentivize landlords to do the right thing and keep our communities safe by only leasing commercial space to legal, licensed businesses. I want to thank the Speaker for her leadership on this issue, as well as the Public Safety Chair, Kamala Hanks, committee staff, advocates, and the many community members who have brought this issue to the fore. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to keep the box right here. I'm just going to stand behind it. Thank you, Councilmember Schulman. Introduction 551B, sponsored by Councilmembers Kritzel Hudson and Carlina Rivera, would authorize the city to establish or fund unconditional guaranteed income programs for certain eligible low-income families and individuals. It will set up a framework for such programs to preserve participants' access to public benefits to the greatest extent possible and provide data for the purpose of analysis and policy making. I invite Councilmember Kritzel Hudson to come forward and speak about this bill.
Thank you, Speaker Adams. Today I'm honored that the Council will pass Introduction 561. Across the country, cities of all sizes, from Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Atlanta to Gary, Indiana, Evanston, Illinois, and Paterson, New Jersey, have adopted direct cash assistance programs as tangible policy solutions to combat poverty, stimulate growth in their local economies, reduce income inequality, and offer their vulnerable constituencies a lifeline that affords them greater economic and social freedom. With the passage of Intro 561, New York is joining these cities, taking a critical step toward offering all New Yorkers direct cash assistance. And with the pilot programs established through this bill, we'll see our communities in need benefit firsthand from direct, unconditional cash payments and reap the citywide effects that programs like these offer our neighborhoods: safety, stability, and dignity. Intro 561 is central to my Black agenda for New York City, and I look forward to continuing the necessary work that will see this pilot program expanded and become permanent. I'd like to especially thank Speaker Adams for her leadership on this bill, as well as the countless advocates for their continued fight to bring direct cash assistance to vulnerable New Yorkers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't get offended if I move the box. Okay. Finally, we will vote on some of the legislative proposals that are part of the Council's mental health roadmap, envisioned by our Mental Health Committee Chair, Linda Lee. Councilmember Linda Lee, Majority Leader Keith Powers, Councilmember Botcher, and I released this roadmap with advocates to improve mental health in our city. It focuses on addressing existing challenges in the city's mental health care landscape and strengthening the infrastructure and investments in evidence-based solutions at the community level to improve mental health outcomes for New Yorkers. The roadmap is an evolving pathway to a healthier city, and today we're voting on a portion of its legislative proposals. We look forward to continuing this work in partnership with service providers, advocates, community members, and government stakeholders, and I thank Chair Lee for her leadership in moving this roadmap forward. Resolution 88, sponsored by Councilmember Robert Holden, calls on Congress to pass and the President to sign legislation to fully repeal the Institutions for Mental Diseases exclusion from the Social Security Act that would allow the use of Medicaid funding for mental health and substance use disorder treatment. Resolution 583, sponsored by Councilmember Rita Joseph, calls on New York State to subsidize the education and licensing costs of CUNY students who commit to working in the public sector in the mental health professions, which historically experience high turnover rates and staffing shortages. Resolution 587, sponsored by Majority Leader Keith Powers, calls on the New York State Office of Mental Health to expand enforcement of mental health and substance use disorder insurance parity and apply for federal grants to enforce insurance parity so insurance discrimination is reduced as a barrier to mental health care access. Resolution 588A, also sponsored by Majority Leader Powers, calls on New York State to collaborate closely with New York City to achieve their shared goal of developing 35,000 units of supportive housing. Resolution 589, sponsored by Majority Leader Powers, calls on the federal government to ensure that calls to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline program are routed based on geolocation rather than area code, so people are routed to appropriate services based on their geographic location rather than simply the area code of their phone. And Resolution 592, sponsored by Councilmember Lynn Schulman, calls on the state and federal governments to expand the availability of mental health professionals for low and moderate income New Yorkers by increasing Medicaid reimbursement rates for behavioral health services. Now on to the introductions from the mental health roadmap we will be voting on. Introduction 706A, sponsored by Councilmember Shauna Abreu, would require the Mayor's Office of Community Mental Health to maintain public, searchable online database of available mental health services in New York City on its website. This would improve access to mental health resources for New Yorkers. I now invite Councilmember Abreu to come forward and speak about his bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your commitment to making mental health care more accessible, equal, and culturally competent. We know what we're up against. The pandemic has not only worsened an unparalleled mental health crisis, it exposed the difficulty of accessing care. While every New Yorker is guaranteed low to no cost mental health care, many aren't able to find the services they require in the first place. Here's the fact of the matter. 1 in 5 New Yorkers experiences a mental illness in a given year, but hundreds of thousands of these New Yorkers are not connected to care providers throughout the city. That's because systemic inequities and institutional barriers have led to yawning gaps in mental health care coverage across neighborhoods. If we are serious about mental health care, we must update and modernize our existing infrastructure of care providers. The Office of Community Mental Health has a wide-ranging online database of mental health services. However, it is very cumbersome and complex to navigate. Locating information on mental health service providers, whether it's contacts at specialized clinics, types of resources and language services offered, or technical details about insurance and payment methods, should not be an added burden to those already seeking treatment. This portal will now be transparent and user-friendly, allowing patients to compare and search for providers that fit their care requirements. I am so proud to be part of a council that is prioritizing mental health and working to get the services, resources, and care to those that need it the most. The small things matter, and we cannot wait any longer to take any action on this crisis. We'd like to thank the Speaker for taking this action head on.
Thank you, Councilmember Abreu. Introduction 1006A, sponsored by Councilmember Eric Botcher, would require the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene to develop and implement a public awareness campaign and conduct outreach on mental health and behavioral health programs in New York City that provide low-cost and no-cost services, specifically to those who do not qualify for health insurance based on federal guidelines. I now invite Councilmember Botcher to come to the podium and speak about his bill.
Thank you, Speaker Adams. The City Council's mental health roadmap is a very, very significant document. And in it, as you've seen today, we focus on so many areas that have been neglected for so long, calling on the federal government to end the policies that were put in place to intentionally shut down inpatient mental health services, addressing the huge shortage of social workers and mental health workers, which is one of the biggest problems we're facing right now, funding programs, but not having the people to work at those programs. My legislation will require the city to do outreach and education about the services that are available with respect to behavioral health that are being underutilized. Given the magnitude of the crisis that we're facing, we should not be leaving money on the table. We should not be leaving services on the table. Every New Yorker should know that there are behavioral health resources available to people insured or uninsured. That message isn't getting out. So that's a key part of this roadmap. I'm very thankful to Speaker Adams for your leadership on the issue of mental health. After many, many years, we're finally, I believe, giving this issue the attention that it demands, and that is in no small part due to your leadership, Speaker Adams, Chair Lee, and all my colleagues at the City Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Botcher, and your continued being a champion for this issue, for this council. Thank you. That concludes our stated agenda, and with that, we will take on-topic questions first.
Hi, Speaker. What's the timeline right now with the city budget? Where are you guys right now? Sorry. So kind of a topic. This is just about the bill.
Legislation, anything?
The unconditional cash bill, as I'm reading it, it says like the city may do this. I mean, is there buy-in from the administration yet? Are they going to? And then which agency would run it?
Do we have anyone to speak on that? You want to speak on that, Crystal?
Briefly. So the bill actually allows the city the permission, if you will. It makes it legal for the city to actually do this, to have a cash assistance program. So that's the mechanics of the bill is actually legalizing or allowing the city to actually do it. So part of the bill is also a pilot program that's included, and that pilot program would be run and implemented by the City Council.
What would be implemented?
The pilot program? Oh, by the City Council, yeah. By the council, yeah.
Thank you.
What would that pilot program look like, or is that a kind of to be determined thing? Like, can you kind of elaborate on how this would look?
I think it's to be determined. Let's pass the bill first and get it over the finish line, and then once we do that, then we'll, I'm sure the speaker will come back and share all the details.
Absolutely.
Speaker, for the mental health roadmap legislation, when the work is done, you pass as many bills as you possibly can. How do you believe this roadmap will impact the city in a real and practical way? What do you want the legacy of this roadmap to hold?
A lot of it has to do with the fact that there aren't nearly as many opportunities for people that need mental health services, the cost as well of mental health services. So in the long run, what we're really looking to is to expand opportunities for people to get the help that they need at low cost and hopefully no cost in a lot of cases. Thank you.
May I ask Councilmember Schulman to talk a little bit more about enforcement, how the talks the city council has had with the sheriff's office and how they're going to crack down on landlords who would rent illicit?
So when the sheriffs go out, first of all, and they do a raid, there's a letter from the sheriff's office that goes to the landlord that says you are renting to an illegal entity, running an illegal business. So that's a notification. And then we can go and after that, the Department of Buildings. There's also what's called a nuisance abatement program now that the city does have on the books, but it's very hard to enforce. And what we were told by the DA's offices is that this is another tool. So if a landlord can show that they started eviction proceedings, that helps to implement and enforce the nuisance abatement part of the program.
Is the expectation that this legislation would help increase the number of raids?
What it's going to do is hopefully right now there are 1,600 illegal weed shops approximately throughout the city. So hopefully landlords will get the message, because the fines are steep, that they shouldn't rent to these businesses. Because right now what's happening in most cases, what we found is there have been some investigations by folks that the rent is being paid by these illegal businesses in cash. So once we start fining them, the landlords, then they would start eviction proceedings, and slowly but surely we'll get rid of those illegal weed shops as we ramp up the legal ones.
Sorry, Madam Speaker, if I may, I just want to clarify.
You want to come back to the mic?
Yeah, I just want to clarify really quickly. The city council wouldn't administer the program. We would fund the program, and local organizations would administer the direct cash assistance. Thanks.
Makes sense.
But we would fund.
Anything else?
One more on topic. The Cuba, that's been a hot topic for decades. Why now? Why is it passing today?
Why not? Because it's been a hot topic for decades. That's why it's going to pass today. You know, this is something that's been talked about ad nauseum for many, many years. And, you know, we're going to put it forth today. Obviously, Councilmember Barron has been in this fight for a long time. We think about President Obama. It was something that he brought to the forefront as well. So it's high time that we do this, and the council is going to pass this today. It's a great question.
On the city budget, do you have a timeline? Also, where do you think the city hall side and city council will be able to come to an agreement first? And where do you think some of the harder portions, I know they talked about cuts, you guys want to restore those cuts. Where do you think will be kind of the crux of disagreement that will drag out into the final deadline?
Yeah. Well, the quick answer is that negotiations, of course, are still ongoing. The mayor's proposed budget did leave out a lot of funding. So many essential services for New Yorkers that we're focused on restoring right now, and that really is the brunt of the negotiation. The restoration piece. We're facing some daunting budget gaps that are very significant in the next several years, and we do get that, but it undermines the city and our ability to overcome those challenges if we don't fund our libraries, if we don't fund our education, if we don't fund our seniors and their programs, housing and other core services. So those are some of the things that we are really trying to get through right now.
And do you think that the mayor's side is prioritizing other things, say, for example, the migrant costs? I mean, it doesn't seem like the feds are going to come through with any significant funding anytime soon. So do you think that that's taking priority over there versus what you just said, libraries, education?
Well, you know, let's just say this. The city is we're always going to be in a crisis with one thing or another. In our negotiations, though, everything is on the table, so I wouldn't necessarily say that the migrant situation per se is keeping us or preventing us from going forward with the negotiation. of the total outlook for the whole city. So the answer to that would be yes, the situation is in consideration, but we have a lot more to consider than just that particular situation.
I wanted to ask you about a bill that Charles Barron's got on the plate today dealing with Medicare Advantage. You're familiar with this, right?
I am.
I'm curious, like, how you see this kind of interacting with what the council's kind of stated approach to this has been. Do you feel it undermines it? Do you feel like it's good to have a discussion about it? And you know, and what if anything do you plan to say about it upstairs during the stated meeting?
Well, as far as upstairs goes, the introduction is going to be done by the council member, so that will be that. That introduction will be put on floor today. You know, and as I've said before, we don't want to unilaterally intervene in a process that intersects with collective bargaining. So that's, you know, that's where we stand. The bill is going to be introduced today. It is going to go through the legislative process, and that is where we stand.
Do you think it should be introduced today?
Do I think it should be introduced today? Well, again, this is a democracy in this council, and we are going through the process as introduction as you know, as it is wanted by this council member.
Do you want this?
I think I just answered the question. Thank you.
On the packages city FEPS bill
Yes.
that's been talked about a lot in
Yep.
recent weeks, are you getting an indication from the mayor and his team that they're going to veto the package? You know, he signed the emergency rule
Yep.
change last week regarding just the 90-day rule. So yeah, are you hearing about a veto? What will happen if that takes place?
We have not officially heard of a veto. We can only tell you that the optics may indicate that, but we have not been told of a veto. As I see Jeff Colton smiling at that. You know, the 4 bills were passed with a veto-proof majority in the council. It underscores really how important this package is to the council, really to New Yorkers that we're protecting. A veto at this point would amount to political theater. It would delay solutions to homelessness at this point and the eviction crisis that are both worsening as we sit here. So our city certainly can't see or can't afford to see more New Yorkers become homeless and lose their homes and join the already high shelter population, which is growing by the moment. We are prepared to override any veto to confront this crisis, and we believe our members will vote in support of all of the New Yorkers to override this veto.
Are you worried about any members defecting?
I'm not worried.
Will a budget deal be reached before the end of the fiscal year?
Oh my gosh, Emily, if I had a crystal ball, I certainly would use it, particularly during these negotiations. These negotiations are tough. They're very different than last year. I really can't say. We are hoping to get this done. You know, we want to get it done sooner than later. That is our goal, but we still got a lot of work to do.
How would you categorize or describe the state of negotiations now? Are they intensifying yet, or is it still?
They've been intensified. They've been tense since day one. It's a tough budget. So, you know, we've been really working very, very hard. And two, it's an uphill battle, you know, given everything that we're up against, again, and trying to restore things that, in essence, were taken away, you know, from New Yorkers. Services were taken away. Promises of other things, you know, are to be taken away are on the table. The council, we are so committed to protecting those things that that are threatened to be lost to New Yorkers, you know, threatened to be lost to millions of people, and we are adamant about, you know, going through these negotiations with true intent to try to preserve as much as we can. Thank you. We did. It wasn't my fault. I was waiting to be called in here.